SportsCenter with Stephen A. begins the coverage at 7, followed by the countdown crew taking you right up to the tip-off of Game 6. Meanwhile, Tom Brady has been doing a lot of talking this offseason, most recently in his episode of HBO's The Shop that aired last week. But there was one thing that Brady reportedly said back in May that Troy Aikman said shocked him. Let's go back to this. The Boston Globe reported that Brady called into a Players Association meeting and advocated for players to skip workouts and change the offseason program, saying we shouldn't have overly competitive drills in May and June. There's no bleeping pro baseball player that's throwing 95 in the middle of December. But Troy Aikman, a Hall of Fame quarterback, was on a podcast, the Ringer's podcast Flying Coach. He said he was shocked to hear that, but then upon further review, he said, that's the greatness of Tom Brady, because I can assure you he's not taking those days off, and that team is not taking those days off. And so he views it as a total competitive advantage. And I thought to myself, that is right. Tom Brady, if you look at all the things that he's doing, the way he basically made half the quarterbacks in the league question their own standing on their own team with one set of comments, and another where he made every defensive player in the league question what he's really saying. And now this, I believe, Kimberly, that we are now at a place where Tom Brady is just playing Jedi mind tricks on the entire National Football League. What do you think?
Greeny, I'm with you. You know why? Because he learned it from Bill Belichick. Remember, I used to cover the Jets. I was a Jets beat writer. We used to be on conference calls every week. Whenever the Patriots would play the Jets, we would listen to Bill Belichick on the conference call, complimenting different Jets players, complimenting the head coach. And we would sit there and think, but that guy stinks. Or that guy, he's not playing well. What is he talking about? And then you start to realize, Bill is just messing with all of us. Us, the players, the Jets, all of it. So this subterfuge, and, Brady even recently said, sometimes I don't say what I really think. I say X and I mean Y in my head. So, yeah, Brady is all about the mind games. I'm a former psych major. We know how to get in people's heads, and we like to see where their weaknesses are, and then we expose them and we tweak them. So, yeah, I totally am with Aikman on this.
Yes, Tom Brady is Luke Skywalker and Bill Belichick is Yoda. That's what's going on here. They're playing their roles perfectly. Ninko, you played with one and for the other. Is Tom Brady just playing mind games here?
Oh, yeah, of course he is. And look, I'll go back to the Patriots. I'll go back to the Patriots-Rams Super Bowl. And Sean McVay, Bill Belichick, before the game come together. Psychology 101, body language. McVay's in talking to Tom or talking to Bill, hands in pockets, moving back and forth, saying over complimenting. Bill even says at some point we'll catch up in the offseason. He's still hands in pockets, complimenting. In the back of my head, I'm like, man, McVay's nervous right now. He is nervous talking to Bill Belichick. Bill's standing there, hands out of his pockets, kind of small smirk, doesn't say much, and McVay just keeps going on and on and on, almost like a nervous boy trying to ask out a girl to the senior prom. Just hands in pockets, kind of rocking back and forth, kind of looking around. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. All right, let's go play this game. So at the end of the day. Bill Belichick understands psychology. So does Tom Brady. So they must have learned from each other.
He did. He looked like he was asking a girl's dad for permission to take her to the prom or something. That actually is what it kind of looked like. Mike T, what do you think?
I think we're seeing one of the main reasons Tom Brady left New England a year ago. Look at the offseason, everything that has been enumerated. I think he just wanted to be more expressive. We're seeing an authentic Tom Brady, one that Nico obviously played with for a long time. This is manifesting itself on a national stage. It's very clear to me there was a number of reasons he wanted to leave New England, and we're seeing it play out. And the other thing that's very apparent is the axiom of a quarterback takes the personality of their head coach. The more these interviews come out, the more you hear Bruce Arians come through Tom Brady. There's such an influence of BA's gravitas and confidence and bravado that's coming out more and more, which to me is really fascinating.
The other side of this that we can explore at some point, Brady he's in a place no one has ever been. No one at his age has ever been doing what he's doing in the history of this or basically any sport. So he kind of has a perspective on last night, Bucks. Hawks, game 4 in Atlanta. No Trae Young for the Hawks. Out with a bone bruise in his right foot as they try to even up this series with Milwaukee. And in the first quarter, Giannis just not feeling it. The 3, that's nothing but air. First time this postseason that Giannis did not score in the first quarter. Milwaukee was down by 3 after 1. Second quarter, things got worse. Bucks down by 9. Now they turn it over. Here comes Cam Reddish for the easy finish. He had 12. Hawks by 11. Later, Bucks down by 9. Chris Middleton, no. Now we're going the other way. Rebound fought for. It's going to be Lou Will who's going to come away with it. And Lou Will does what Lou Will does, which is he shoots over Giannis. Yes, it's good. He had 21. Hawks by 13 at the half. Third quarter, Milwaukee came out fired up, particularly the Greek Freak. Driving the lane, throwing it down. Oh, it looked like he was feeling it, and they were coming. They were down by 8, and then the moment that changes everything. Watch Giannis. Watch the knee buckle as he goes up to try to contest. He is down. It looks like the knee hyperextends. We'll show it to you one more time quickly. It's a terrible looking injury. It is one that probably shifts everything in this series and the rest of the playoffs. Malika reports he will undergo further testing on that knee today. Meanwhile, when he went down, the Hawks went nuts. But Bogdanovic with a 3, he scored 20, and then it's Clint Capella. Watch this shot. How does that go in? Clint Capella, 15 points on 6 of 7. Dikembe can't believe it. The Hawks pull away. They win it 110-88, playing without that man. But the story, of course, is Giannis.
He's in the locker room with the guys and just addressed the group and, but nothing, above and beyond or, we'll see how he is tomorrow. Our group, the character of it will come through and we're going home. It's 2-2.
We'll see what happens with Giannis. It'll be great if he plays, but if he's not, we still have a capable team. We're going out there and winning.
Well, that's the right thing for him to say, but obviously losing Giannis would be a devastating blow to the Bucks in their quest for their first championship in 50 years. According to our Basketball Power Index, Milwaukee has a 48% chance to win the championship with him and only 23% without him. And so let me bring in my Uncle Seth, no relation, Seth Greenberg. Seth, assuming if Giannis misses any games in this postseason now, he would become the 10th All-Star to miss games with injury in the playoffs. And that doesn't include Trae Young because he wasn't an All-Star. What is the right thing to say about all of these injuries in these playoffs?
Basketball is a contact sport. Basketball is difficult on the body. The narrative that these injuries are due to overuse is just not, I don't see the justification. The NBA actually did a study and said it's not true. But you think about some of these injuries, and I'm going to include Trae's injury in it as well. I mean, these are basketball injuries. This is a basketball injury. You know what? When you go up in the air as high as he does and you're in traffic, there's a chance you can hyperextend your knee. If you're Kyrie Irving and you get in a lane and you land on someone's foot, there's a chance that you're going to hurt your ankle. If you're Kawhi Leonard, you've had injuries throughout the season and you've had rest, by the way. They've done what they needed to do in terms of limiting his minutes. So these are basketball injuries. It's great to have a narrative that it's overuse, but the reality is this is basketball. When you're in a crowd around the basket, when you're competing at this higher level, there are going to be injuries. Obviously terrible. You feel for Giannis. You feel for the Bucks. You feel for the Nets. But these things happen in the game of basketball. And when you have the very best players on the floor, they're going to happen. And you know what? Chris Paul's been hurt in playoffs before this. We've seen Kawhi Leonard been hurt throughout the season. It just happens.
Right. Again, Chris Paul's, the games that he missed were with COVID. So there's a million extenuating circumstances in all this. Having said all of that, Seth, and I agree with you, can the Bucks win this series without Giannis?
No chance. And you talk about Batman and Robin. Come on, give me a break now. I mean, Giannis gets some rebounds, gets some easy baskets. He defends. He plays ahead of the defense. You saw what happened. I mean, look, the Hawks got up and underneath Middleton, took away his drive, took away his jump shot, made him a driver. All right, they took him out of transition. Their inability they don't have enough guys that can just make a play. The Bucks are a team of role players surrounded by Giannis, and that's just the way it is. So this is a very good basketball team, but you know what? They don't have playmakers, and they don't even have shot makers if you take Middleton out of the equation. I mean, they're relying on Braden Forbes to come off the bench and knock down some jumpers. This series is over, even if Trae doesn't play. All right, you take Giannis off of this basketball team, the Bucks don't have a chance to win this series.
Game 5 is tomorrow night in Milwaukee. Again, we don't know either of these things, but it certainly feels as though there's a possibility it'll be played